The Tehama Room provides you the means to group people and provide them access to specific assets. From the Rooms page, you can see all the rooms that have been created within your organization, how many people have been invited to those rooms, the number of desktops that have been created, and how many are in use at that moment in time. You can also see which region that room has been created in. In other words, where the infrastructure has been built for that room. When you navigate to a room, by default, you'll land on the members page. From here, you can see who has been invited into the room, their role, and whether or not they've had a desktop assigned to them. Under the Connection tab is where you would define the access controls within this room. You can add a connection, which would give you the opportunity to connect the room to a device or an asset at your end. This could be a data center, for example. You can also define IP addresses that can be accessed from within this room under firewall rules, or domains under DNS filtering. Under the Configure tab is where you can create your Windows and Linux desktop templates. You could also go over to settings, configure your idle timeout period for desktops within that room, and configure the feature sets that are available within that room. Under the Audit tab is where you'll have access to the activity stream, which is essentially a very granular logging of all the activity that happens within that room. For example, you can see when someone has been invited into the room, by whom, at what time, and when were they given access to a desktop. Or, just as importantly, when was this person removed from the room? Under the Sessions tab is where you can view past sessions if you have the recordings feature turned on. If there were users currently active and working on their virtual desktops, you'd be able to watch them live here under Live Sessions. Conditions of use can be created under the Organization page, and this can be applied to specific organizations within a room. And these conditions can restrict who has access to this room. You can invite multiple organizations into a single room. These organizations can propose people into the room, and the organization that owns the access controls can then approve or reject whether those proposed people can have access to this room. This is a great way to support contractors or other companies that might be collaborating with this group of people on a common project.